Hello there. In today's video we will discuss about a very important topic, which is the arrival of East India Company in India. In 1488, the discovery of Cape of Good Hope took place. With this, a sea route between Europe to India and other eastern countries were established. Cape of Good Hope was discovered by a Portuguese explorer named Bartholomew Dias. So at the beginning only the Portuguese companies used this sea route, and later on nearby European companies started trading in this sea route. Now, after seeing the European companies trading on this sea route, on 31st December 1600, some Britain's businessmen opened a company named Governor and Company of Merchants of London trading into the East Indies. Now don't get confused by this big name. Basically, we know this company as British East India Company. To trade with India and other eastern countries, British East India Company needed the permission of Queen Elizabeth, who was the Queen of Britain. Now, the British East India Company presented a petition before Queen Elizabeth. In that petition, the benefits of using the sea route for trading and the probability of earning good amount of profit was written. Queen Elizabeth understood the company's motive and passed a charter to the East India Company. After getting the charter from the Queen, the English East India Company was very happy, because in that charter the English East India Company was given 15 years of sole right to trade with all the countries who were in the east side of the Cape of Good Hope and all the countries in the west side of the Strait of Magellan. The East India Company were given the monopoly over trading in all those countries. It means no other European company were allowed to trade in those regions. East India Company had many servants, clerks, officers who reported to one governor, and this governor reported to the court of directors. The court of directors consisted of 24 directors who were appointed by the court of proprietors. The company was registered, and the permission for trading was also granted. But it took 8 years for the company to enter inside India. That means it was established on 1600 and East India Company entered inside India on 1608. Because other European trading companies, especially Portuguese East India Company, who were already inside India, didn't want another company to step inside in trading. They didn't want the competition from the English East India Company. As a result, the Portuguese company fought against the English East India Company. But somehow the English East India Company managed to enter inside India. In 1608, they reached Surat. After reaching India, they realized that coming inside India was not everything. A bigger challenge was waiting for them. It was the Mughal dynasty. That time they ruled over India. The company thought that if they wanted to enjoy profits, they must satisfy the Mughal king. In that time, King Jahangir was the Mughal emperor, and Britain was in rule of James I, as Queen Elizabeth died in 1603. So the English East India Company told James I that India is under Jahangir's rule, and the Mughal king is not giving any permission to set up factories over there. The English East India Company also asked, if we don't get the permission to set up factories in India, then how can we start trading? Then James I told them to relax and asked them to keep their focus on trading and leave everything upon him. In 1615, James I sent a delegation to Jahangir, and this delegation was led by Sir Thomas Roe. Well, just know that Thomas Roe was pledged to convince Jahangir at any cost. He came to Jahangir's court and started residing over there. He started bribing the Mughal king with luxuries. He gave the king many precious things brought from Europe and served the king with divine-like amenities. Sir Thomas flooded Jahangir's hands with imported items, and soon Jahangir gave permission to the Britishers. He gave them total permission to do whatever they feel like doing and said if anybody intervenes in their job, the Britishers must report that to him. But Jahangir had one condition. He said that the royal facilities that he was enjoying shouldn't be stopped. So Jahangir wrote a letter to James I and told that royal love that he was getting shouldn't be stopped. And in return he assures that nobody can do any harm to the Britishers. This letter is available at Wikipedia. You can check if you want to. So by this, the English East India Company started to establish their trading post in India. In 1619 at Surat, in 1639 in Madras, in 1668 in Bombay and 1698 in Calcutta. Now you must be thinking with which goods the Britishers started trading with. They brought coffee and Persian horses and exported cotton and silk clothes from here and also saltpeter. India was a very reliable supplier of the saltpeter. Now what is a saltpeter? So basically it is an important component to make gunpowder and the whole Europe required it. So Britishers exported it from here. By 1647, the English East India Company had set up 23 factories in India. So what was the use of these factories? Basically, the Britishers used these factories as godowns, where all the goods of trading were stored and also people lived there. It also had security guards. Among these factories, 3 factories were ready in a major scale. These were like less of a factory and more of a fort. Fort William in Bengal, Fort St. George in Madras and Bombay Castle in Bombay. After this, Mughal King Farrukh Shah in 1717 freed Britishers from custom duty. He said that Britishers can do trade here without giving any tax or custom duty. The British company started to print currency notes in bulk, but till now the British East India Company was only a trading company. After this, 2 very important events took place, Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar, which made the company into a political power from a simple trading company. Stay tuned with us as videos on these 2 important events will be coming shortly. Until then, thanks for watching our video and please subscribe to our channel Silver Aspects.